It's 8:30.
It's 8:30, New York time. Time to wake up America and stump the experts. Each week at this time, Lucky Strike invites you to try your wits against the wits of its experts. For every question we use, Lucky Strike pays out $10 plus a copy of the new Information Please quiz book. And if your question stumps us, you get $25 more plus a 24-volume set of the Encyclopedia Britannica. Send your questions to Information Please, 480 Lexington Avenue, New York City. If our editorial staff edits your questions a bit, don't fret over it. In case of similarity, we'll have to be sole judge of who shall be paid, and all questions become the property of Information Please. And now light up a Lucky Strike as I present our master of ceremonies, the literary critic of the New Yorker magazine, Clifton Fadiman. Mr. Fadiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, Information Please continues in its happy-go-lucky and completely spontaneous manner. And tonight, the sports expert John Kieran and the New York Post's conning tower man, Franklin P. Adams, retain their regular positions. That means we have two guests. One, the Honorable James Wallace of the New York Court of General Sessions, has been with us before, and we're very glad to welcome him back. The other is a newcomer to this program, and he needs no introduction whatsoever to any American citizen, the Honorable Alfred E. Smith. Now, gentlemen and ladies, remember, for every question missed, Lucky Strike rings up $25. And that's paid out to the sender, plus 24 volumes of the Encyclopedia Britannica. We're off with the first question, which comes to us from Miss Mary E. Coppell of Geneva, Illinois. I'm going to read 3 lines, one after the other, as is my custom. And I'm going to ask you to complete the lines and name the authors. Here's the first. And when, responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat... we have several hands. Mr. Adams.
No stranger in the crowd could doubt was Casey at the bat.
Attaboy. Very good. And I believe, Judge, you were about to say the same thing.
Yes.
Good enough.
Gentleman named Thayer was the author, I believe.
Who is the author, Judge?
Thayer.
Thayer is quite right.
You mean Ernest L. Thayer? Why don't you say so?
Time is precious on this program.
Not to you, apparently, Judge. Now, let us go on to the second one. Here, Scug lies snug. How does it go on? Mr. Adams again.
As a bug in a rug.
Attaboy, and who said it?
Anon.
Oh, no. You have to give me the author. The author, gentlemen? Who is the author of that famous statement? The author is Benjamin Franklin. What did you say, Mr. Kieran?
Mrs. Scugg.
It was Benjamin Franklin in a letter to one of his female correspondents, and I don't know whether he invented the phrase or not, but the phrase has become famous since his time. That's one wrong. Now get the next one right, or we lose $25. Go. Your lover lives, said Cromwell. Mr. Smith.
Curfew shall not ring tonight.
Attaboy, Mr. Smith. That's fine. And, Mr. Smith, who wrote it? That's not so easy. Mr. Kieran?
Rose Hartwick Thorpe.
Attaboy. That's very good. Thank you for helping out the governor. That gives us 2 out of 3. And sends us on to the question, the next one, from S. Bleecker of New Boston, Massachusetts. Again, get 2 out of 3. Now, I'm going to ask you to name the man who is being offered as a presidential nominee. In each of these imaginary speeches that we've made up, I'm going to deliver them. And you have to name the man at the end of my speech. Here we go. They were all presidents. Now, here we go. The Buckeye State is proud to offer in nomination a man who has ably served his state and nation as a judge, a governor of the Philippines, and as Secretary of War. I give you Mr. Adams.
William Howard Taft.
Not the slightest doubt of it. Very good. Now the next one. The Empire State offers to this great convention a man distinguished as a sheriff of the great Erie County, mayor of the Bison City, and governor of the largest state in the Union. I give you... Judge Wallace.
Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland. I had 4 hands up. Everybody knew the answer there. Now, how about this one? The Bay State is happy to present to this convention a native son who has served as member of both houses of the state legislature and president of the upper house, lieutenant governor, and who emerged as a national leader from a grave emergency that challenged the hub. I give you Mr.
Calvin Coolidge.
All right, Mr. Adams, Mr. Kieran, and the judge, and Mr. Smith. Calvin Coolidge is right. Too easy. Not enough presidents.
I'm referring to the...
I see. I just wanted to get you right.
The mechanical one, Mr. Fadiman.
Now, gentlemen, here is something a little harder. This comes from Samuel H. Monk of Memphis, Tennessee, and again get 2 out of 3. From what source is each of these titles derived? They're titles of books or plays or movies. Tell me what they come from. The first is Once Aboard the Lugger. It's a novel by A.S.M. Hutchinson. Mr. Adams.
And the Girl Is Mine.
Attaboy.
But
That's
hockey, no violence.
right. Oh, you know the rest of it, too, do you, Judge? And Mr. Adams and Judge Wallace, what's it from? What's the source of the line?
I think it's from some old melodrama.
Yes?
What I Don't Know.
Is that the name of it? What, you don't know?
What melodrama escapes me.
Couldn't be
Judge?
Black-Eyed Susan.
No.
Well,
I think you have to give me the source. Otherwise, I have to mark you wrong. It's from a play by an old melodrama writer, Dion Boucicault. Boucicault, Mr. Smith?
The Chaperon.
That's right. Smith, any particular reason?
Yes, I played Curry Chinchilla.
All right, we'll call that right. An assist from the governor. Now, how about this one? It's a bestseller of the present moment by Eric Knight called This Above All. What's the source? Mr. Kieran.
This above all to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night to day, etc.
Yes.
Polonius to Laertes.
Yes, in the play...
Hamlet.
In the play Hamlet. That's a perfect answer. And how about this one? This is a movie, I think. Strawberry Blonde. Strawberry Blonde, what's it from? Mr. Adams.
Casey would waltz with the Strawberry Blonde.
That's right. Do you know how it goes on?
And the band played on is the name of the song.
And the band played on. Very good. I don't think a great many people knew that. The judge had his hand up and probably is going to say the same
Any
thing.
child would know.
Oh, yes. We've sung
how
that
do you happen
many
to know
a
it then,
time,
Mr.
haven't we,
Adams?
Frank?
How about this one from E. Irving Stewart of Portland, Oregon? Again, get 2 out of 3. This is something about our own profession, Mr. Adams, which is the profession of radio. Identify these firsts in broadcasts. What was the first broadcast of a presidential convention? When and what was the occasion? Mr. Smith.
1924.
That's absolutely right. What was the occasion, Mr. Smith?
Democratic National Convention at Madison Square Garden.
And Madison Square Garden, and who was nominated at the time?
John W. Davis.
John W. Davis. And is that the famous convention in which Alabama cast 24 votes for Underwood? It became was that the one?
That was
No,
that was in the time that
Yes,
Woodrow
Judge?
Wilson was
No.
nominated.
No, it wasn't.
No.
That was the same
That's
convention.
the same convention.
Stop fighting, gentlemen.
Same convention.
I think I will defer to the governor, Judge, if you don't mind. I think that phrase did become famous, as the governor reminds us, in
I
1924.
remember hearing it when Woodrow Wilson was nominated, and I'll stick to my story.
All right, now you stick to it. We don't mind. How about this one? The first broadcast of a heavyweight championship fight. The first broadcast of a heavyweight championship fight. What one? Mr. Smith.
FOIPO.
No? Guess not. That'd be wrong. Any guesses now? As long as we're wrong, Mr. Kieran.
I'll guess it was Boyle's 30 Acres, Dempsey against Carpentier.
Why didn't you say that before, Mr. Kieran, before Mr. Smith opened his
Well,
mouth?
as a matter of fact, I know somebody who worked on the broadcast.
Yes. Who was the broadcaster at that time? Do you remember?
Major Andrew White,
That's
perhaps.
exactly right, Mr. Kieran. That's pretty... I'm surprised. You have a very good memory, Mr. Kieran. Nevertheless, I'll have to count that wrong, because Mr. Smith came in first with a slightly wrong answer. Now, how about this one? What was the first broadcast of a presidential address to the people? The first broadcast of a presidential address to the people of the United States. I think these are interesting facts. Any guesses? How about it, Mr.
I'll
Kieran?
guess Woodrow Wilson.
No, that would be wrong. Warren Harding in June 1923 spoke to the citizenry about the World Court for the first time over the air. And that, I think, will send $25 to Mr. Stewart, plus a copy of the Britannica, courtesy of Lucky Strike, and will send us on to the next question from Mrs. Marie Van Sant of Absecon, New Jersey. Again, get 2 out of 3. If these lines of song or poetry that I'm going to read should inspire you to plant a garden, what flowers would bloom in it? And here is the first set of lines. Tell them, dear, that if eyes were made for seeing, then beauty is its own excuse for being. Mr. Kieran.
Rhodora.
Rhodora. What's the
By Emerson,
reference?
to a Rhodora.
To a Rhodora. What is a Rhodora, Mr. Kieran?
Well, it's, as a matter of fact, I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't give you a very...
You're rather snobbish.
accurate-
Unless you see it in the wild, you don't recognize it. Is it anything like a rhododendron? It sounds as if it would be.
No, I believe it's much smaller than a rhododendron.
And the lines, as Mr. Kieran remembered... and I
Beauty
think
is
very
its
few-
own excuse for being.
That's right. Very few people, I think, would know that. It's a poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson. How about this one? And it was nothing more. What flower does that recall to you, Mr. Adams?
A primrose.
A primrose. Can you give us the lines that...
By the rivers.
A primrose by a river's brim.
Yes?
A simple, a yellow primrose was to him, and it was nothing more.
Yes. Who wrote the lines?
Wordsworth.
Wordsworth. That's right. A
Peter
primrose.
Bell.
Now we have... That's absolutely right, Mr. Adams. That gives us rhodora and primrose in our small garden. Here's the last one. Silently, one by one, in the infinite meadows of heaven, blossom the lovely stars. Mr. Adams again.
Forget-me-nots of the angels.
Perfect, Mr. Adams. That's very good. Very good. What's it from?
Evangeline.
Yes, by whom?
H.W. Longfellow.
Thought I'd catch you there, Mr. Adams. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Now, how about this one? This comes from Frank Garatana of Bridgeport, Connecticut. There is a rumor current, by the way, that at least 3 of the gentlemen now serving as experts have some slight ability as harmonizers. We intend to kill that rumor immediately. This question involves a test of your expertness in harmonizing. I'm going to read you a group of songs, just the titles, 4 of them, and you can select one that the 4 of you will agree you're going to sing. When you've made a selection, you have to sing as a quartet in harmony. Now, we have dragged down tonight the Honorable Deems Taylor and the Honorable Oscar Levant to act as judges in this harmonizing contest. And if they say you're good, well, it's hard to know what to say. If they say you're bad, we lose $25 instead of the Britannica. Now, here are 4 songs.
Do they get the... they share in the...
They don't get a
25?
thing out of this. No, they don't get a thing out of it. They are
Looks
just
like
for the
a
fun.
fair and impartial jury to me.
Now, which of these 4 songs would you like to sing, gentlemen? In the Evening by the Moonlight, Sweet Genevieve, Sweet Marie, She Was Bred in Old Kentucky. Judge?
Marie.
Sweet Marie, Mr.
Beautiful.
Smith?
She was bred in old Kentucky.
How about
I yield.
Mr. Kieran? Do you care?
The Evening by the Moonlight.
How about She Was Bred... She was bred in Old Kentucky. All right, I'll have the pianist give you the key.
Yeah, it's just the chorus.
Just the chorus, gentlemen. Get set. On your marks.
She was bred where the meadow grass is blue, where the sunshine of the country in her face and mellow tune. She was bred in old Kentucky. Take a lad, you're mighty lucky when you marry a girl like Sue.
That was remarkable,
You know, there's a parody on that.
Don't sing it.
She was bred in old Kentucky. She was pie in New Orleans. But in Boston, she was only pork and beans.
Didn't expect to get the added grace notes, Mr. Smith. And now, Justice Levant and Justice Taylor, what is your opinion?
Well,
Yes or no?
Don't shilly or shally.
well, candidly, I think it stands alone. It has no bass.
Has no what?
No bass.
Oh, no, you didn't hear that? That
No,
was Kieran.
no bass
You just
at all.
didn't hear
No,
it,
it was
that's
all first baritone and tenor.
What's your opinion, Mr.
Well, there was
Levant?
no predominance of boy soprano there either. I thought it was rather distinguished in the grand manner and in the pool room grand manner.
Well, would you pass these gentlemen, Mr. Levant?
It was long before our judgment. The audience passed, and so did we.
Oh, it's up to you. How about it,
no.
Mr. Taylor?
I stand alone against the audience.
Well, I've got a division of opinion. The audience...
critic.
I'm not going to allow the audience to judge this. I have a no from Mr. Taylor and a yes from Mr. Levant. Is that
2
right?
yeses for me. There's a judge and a governor on the...
In the event of a split jury, which is what we have, I think the only fair thing is to give the $25 and the Britannica to
us.
Mr. Frank Garatano, which I will now do. Thank you very much.
I think this Taylor is a red.
Personally, gentlemen, I don't think you're bad. So far, Lucky Strike has paid out, therefore, $50 and 2 sets of the Encyclopedia Britannica. And now Mr. Cross does a bit of supposing.
Ladies and gentlemen, suppose you shopped for the tobacco that goes into your cigarettes. Well, at the auctions, you might find that the finer, lighter, naturally milder tobaccos, the kinds you really enjoy, cost $5, $10, $15 more